409 Sports, brought to you by Golden Triangle Emergency Center, Orange.
Well, two of the top schools in Southeast Texas will go toe-to-toe on Friday night as the Westbrook Bruins will travel to face off against number 6 Port Arthur Memorial in our 409 Sports Blitz game of the week. Now, Monte Martin had 263 total yards and 3 scores for the Titans, including 138 on the ground as Port Arthur Memorial crushed Barbers Hill 34-6. Now, on the flip side, the Bruins bounced back from their first loss of the season to knock off Baytown Sterling 37-7. Of course, the Titans won last year's meeting 42-14. But hey, look, Westbrook is a totally different team from 12 months ago. Memorial comes in as a 19-point favorite. Join us at 5 and 6 o'clock as we preview this big matchup. And then stay tuned for highlights plus post-game reaction on the 409 Sports Blitz starting at 10:20. Well, since losing their season opener, the Lamar Cardinals have ripped off 5 wins in a row en route to their best start since 1974. Cardinals are 3 wins shy from tying the school record for most wins in a single season as a 4-year institution. Lamar has climbed to 17th in the Stats Perform Top 25 poll and 18th in the AFCA Coaches Poll. Now they're going to have to get by UTRGV, a first-year program that's off to a 5-1 start. Head coach Pete Rosamondo knows his team is in for a good test in front of a big homecoming crowd.
They're ready to go. They got a good coaching staff. Their quarterback is a veteran that's played at UTSA, and he's handling things really well. And their defense plays really, really, really hard. And they got a former Cardinal on the defense in Ian Box that's played here, and obviously was here my first spring, and I got a chance to know him. He's a great kid, and I'm looking forward to playing against him. I think it's going to be a heck of a crowd.
All right, look, in case you haven't heard, the Lamar Cardinals made national headlines over the weekend. They were featured on ESPN's Bad Beat segment where Scott Van Pelt discusses unusual or unfortunate outcomes in sports betting. So East Texas A&M, they were a 7.5-point underdog in a position to win in the final seconds until Lamar scored a touchdown with 3 seconds remaining and then scored again on this kickoff, or this right here, just whoop, scored right there. The bettors who took the Lions, they thought they had an easy win, but ended up losing a heartbreaker. So, yeah, Scott Van Pelt, it was all over social media today. Extremely wild. If you haven't seen it, go to my Facebook page. You're going to laugh all over the place. Hey, in this week's JD Bad Outdoor Report, JD is back from the lake with a couple of surprises. Take a look.
I took off from the boat ramp this morning. It was just barely sunrise. I got out there and the wind wasn't too bad. I fished for about an hour for crappie, ended up catching 2, and I noticed, man, the wind is really starting to blow. It's blowing out of the north. It's tough to keep your balance up in front of the boat when it's almost going to take water over the front. What I do, put my crappie stuff up and grabbed a lipless crankbait, one that I throw in February, and went into these coves and ended up catching 3 or 4 black bass. These bass right here, the reason I have them here at the house, both of them had their gills ripped from this lure. Whenever you get a fish like that that's injured, it's useless to throw it back. I always throw back black bass, but whenever I catch bass like this and they're in great shape and they're not going to live, I'll bring them home and we'll fillet them and give them to somebody, especially somebody like Brody. But Brody's on baby leave. So Brody, if you're watching, here it is, but man, I don't think you're going to make it in time. This is JD Batten for 12 News Outdoors.